Hi guys, welcome back to episode 2 of the Logman. Thank you for everyone that watched the first video. It went miles better than I thought it would. So as promised, I want to look a little bit more into detail at some of our machines we've got here on site. And I want to start with this video anyway, looking at one of our processors. So we've got 3 machines here on site, 3 processors. Each of them do a different job. Each of them take a different size of wood as well, which is brilliant for us. It means we can grade the timber when it comes in and it goes to the most appropriate machine. So today I'm going to talk you through our biggest processor we've got. I'm going to show you it in action. I'm going to show you it running. I'm going to try and do some voiceover as well whilst it's running for you, just to explain parts of it. We're also going to do a walk around of it whilst it's not running, just so you can hear me. And then I just want to show you guys every function of it. Try and answer as many questions as possible on it. If there's things that I don't answer in this video about it that you want to know, feel free to leave a comment. What I'll try and do is reply to those, or I'll answer your questions in the next video. So this machine is a Pezzolato TB 600. It's one of the largest ones Pezzolato produce, and it's ideal for cutting larger roundwood timber like we've got on the deck there. All of our machines here on site are run from diesel generators. They're electric motors, but we don't have enough power on site to run them, so we'll run them all off diesel generators. Whilst this machine isn't running, I thought I'd just jump up here onto the deck and quickly show you around it, and then we'll get it running and I'll do a little bit of voiceover as we're cutting some wood. So as you can see, this machine is basically in 2 parts. So we've got the cutting head, which is run off a chainsaw arm, almost like a harvester head, and then we've got the splitting function as well. Now this is a vertical splitter. This is the only machine we've got with a vertical splitter, but it's the one that I think makes the nicest log. So this machine runs on in-feed rollers rather than an in-feed pusher like the other 2 do. So it runs on 3 in-feed rollers, and we can roll in up to 600mm as well. We've got a 4-metre deck on it, as you can see there. Now compared to the other 2 machines, this is quite a simple one to operate. Everything's fairly manual on it. We've got manual spools and we've got the little control unit here. Unlike the other 2 machines, this one runs on a chainsaw arm. Now what this means is that we can cut a much larger diameter log. So we're cutting there a nice piece of oak. That wouldn't fit through the other 2 machines on the blades. It'd be too big, but this one can manage it because it's on the chainsaw arm. Now it took us quite a bit to get used to this when we first got it. It's the first processor we've ever owned that has a chainsaw arm on it rather than a blade. It came with its own challenges, but it's certainly coming to its own now, chopping the larger logs. With this machine running on a chainsaw bar, it means that this chain here has to be changed twice a day to keep it as sharp as possible and to keep it cutting at the speed we need it to. As I said earlier in the video, the beauty of having 3 machines that are all different sizes means that we can take different size logs in each one. So when the timber comes in, we can grade it and we can put it to the most appropriate machine. So this one being the largest machine we've got, can take the largest log. It means that we can put the largest wood to it, and it means we're not having to turn it out as a reject like we used to have to. The beauty of Pezzolatos is when you go out to Italy, where they're made, and you see the machines, you can spec them to how you need them. So you can put whatever conveyor systems you need on them, whatever splitting systems you need on them. This one's quite a standard design for Pezzolato, but we are looking at putting plans in place for the future to add an extra conveyor or 2 to it, so we can take the logs elsewhere around the factory. This machine has the potential to chop up to 50 tonne a day. We have had 50 tonne a day out of it. Now the average is around 35 a day, which isn't bad going for a processor, certainly on this size of timber as well. Providing there's no hiccups or problems with it, you're looking at about 35 tonne a day on the output. One of the most frequently asked questions that I get is why we've chosen an Italian-made machine for our site here. And honestly, we've had a few different machines over the years, but what we've found is that Pezzolatos are one of the best made machines you can get. The backup service as well from Italy is brilliant. So all these machines are computer linked straight to the factory in Italy. If we have any problems at all with them, all we have to do is simply speak to the service department at Pezzolato in Italy, and they can dial straight into the machine and talk us through what the problem is. It enables us to have far less downtime than what we had with the machines in the past, and means that we can maximise output. Because it's got a vertical splitting head, it means that not only can it produce logs, but it can also produce kindling. So currently this machine's producing oak kindling, as you can see here. Now this oak kindling is a fairly new market to us. It's sold for the pizza oven market, and we sell lots of it to homeowners across the UK that run the pizza ovens off it. Now the main difference with a vertical splitting head over a standard horizontal one is the production of the square log. Now this is quite standard for this machine. You get a lot of square logs from it. Now to me, it's a lot easier to put in a bag, it's a lot easier to stack in your wood store, and it means you won't roll about on your fire either. So what I want to do is fire it up now. We're going to start chopping softwood soon, so I'm going to talk you through, as we start to chop it, how we produce the logs and how the whole machine works.
At the start of the process, logs are loaded onto the log deck by one of our timber cranes. They're then rolled up the deck, as you can see by the chains, and then one by one they're lowered into the machine. So once the logs have been lowered into the machine, they are fed into the processor by the in-feed rollers, and then the chainsaw arm comes down and quite deliberately cuts each ring, as you can see there. Now it's quite a slow process, especially compared to the bladed machines. The bladed machines cut the logs much quicker than this, but with a chainsaw arm, very similar to how you have to cut logs with a chainsaw, it's a much more deliberate action than forcing a blade through some wood. Once the rings are cut, they go down the conveyor into the vertical splitter. So as you can see here, the logs are fed into the splitter. Now the size of the log is determined by how quickly the conveyor goes. So the quicker the conveyor, obviously the bigger the log. Now if we slow the conveyor right down, we can make kindling from this machine as well. And this is the finished article coming out the other side of the splitter. So as they drop off the conveyor, they go over a small 2-metre cleaner. Now this just shakes off any loose debris, allows it to fall through the 50p pieces, and allows the logs to roll off the end.
So thank you for watching this second episode of The Log Man. If there's anything you want to ask, if there's anything I've missed on this video, feel free to leave a comment, and I'll happily reply to your comments or I'll answer them in the next video.